A small Swedish fighter jet just sent a disproportionate shockwave through the halls of the Pentagon. This was not a headline event with explosions or international crises, but something far more subtle, and for military planners, potentially more consequential. A series of recent demonstrations and quiet sales negotiations surrounding the Saab JAS 39 Gripen E have triggered a significant internal reaction within the U.S. Department of Defense. The core question now debated in classified reviews is both simple and profound. How did a comparatively inexpensive, small-footprint fighter from a historically neutral country challenge assumptions underpinning America's multi-trillion-dollar air power strategy, and what it portends for the future of aerial warfare? The alarm was no sudden panic, but a culmination of growing unease. The rules may be changing faster than anticipated. To understand the Pentagon's reaction, we must first understand the aircraft at its center. The Saab JAS 39 Gripen is a multi-role light fighter, a product of Sweden's self-reliance and strategic pragmatism. JAS stands for Jakt, Attack, Spaning, Fighter, Attack, and Reconnaissance. Conceived to blunt a potential Soviet invasion, it favors affordability, flexibility, and ease of maintenance. Built to be a thorn in the side of a numerically superior adversary, the Gripen E marks a qualitative leap. Internals overhauled into a highly advanced combat system. A more powerful General Electric F414 engine increases range and payload. Advanced AESA radar, sophisticated EW suite, and IRST. Fused by modular, rapidly upgradable software, minimal logistical footprint and dispersed operations, turn around in minutes, including short, 800-meter runways and public roads. Hard to neutralize via a few base strikes. Designed to hide, move, and fight from anywhere. Ultimately, Gripen is a philosophy. Cleverness over brute force. It carries less than heavies like F-15EX, but compensates with efficiency and advanced sensor fusion. A smart node in a battle network, not a silver bullet. Low life cycle cost, high-tech sensors, rugged ops. No wonder Washington is paying attention. The alarm built over time, culminating in a late 2025 demonstration. During a multinational exercise, the Swedish Air Force and Saab showcased Gripen E networking and EW in contested airspace. The scenario simulated a high-threat environment. A small flight of Gripens teamed with ground air defenses and UAVs. Targeting data moved seamlessly between disparate platforms, forming a decentralized kill web resilient to jamming and node losses. One Gripen detected hostile aircraft at long range, then passed precise tracks via secured data link to a silent wingman. The second aircraft launched a Meteor without radiating, updated mid-flight by another jet and a ground radar. The missile was, in effect, passed between sensors. Distributed lethality separates sensor from shooter, boosting survivability. It creates complex engagement problems for adversaries. A relatively low-cost fighter executed a profile many reserved for 5th-gen platforms like the F-35. Simultaneous export talks magnified the moment. Not just a demo, an irresistible sales pitch for networked warfare at a fraction of the cost. That really forced a rethink. The first reason for alarm is stark economics. The US pursued technological overmatch, resulting in platforms like the F-35 with a program cost exceeding $1 trillion. The assumption: no adversary could compete at that level. The Gripen E challenges that logic, flyaway near $85 million, and significantly lower cost per flight hour. This creates the dilemma of cost imposition. A squadron of Gripens for the price of a handful of F-35s. Losing one F-35 is a far greater economic and combat loss than one Gripen. With Gripens, commanders take more risk and fly more sorties per budget. Numbers and persistence can overwhelm smaller, exquisite fleets. What's the value of supreme tech if you can barely field it or risk losing it? Gripen's edge spans lifecycle costs and easy maintenance. It thrives from austere bases, no massive logistical tail. If nations choose Gripen, US high-end fighter markets shrink. That hits industry and influence tied to arms sales. The Gripen has weaponized fiscal prudence, and that's deeply disruptive. The second pillar transcends airframe. It's the digital brain. Gripen E is a mobile, intelligent node in a vast information network. Aviation, powerful EW, modular software designed to share and receive data. It builds a unified, real-time battlespace picture that multiplies combat power. This challenges a key U.S. advantage once unique to the F-35. Similar networked effect on a non-stealth, far cheaper platform. Air superiority may depend less on stealth or speed, more on network strength. Networked Gripens can outthink fewer, less connected fighters. Pair them with SAMs and sensors to form budget A2000 AD bubbles. Gripen detects, cues other weapons, then slips away. No single center to target. Threat is decentralized. The panic isn't a 1v1 loss, it's a cohesive digital team defeating a plan. Third pillar, geopolitics. Gripen is a foreign policy instrument. Non-US, ITAR light appeal grants strategic autonomy to buyers. Each sale subtly shifts influence, and Washington watches closely. Placed among peers, Gripen E carves a unique niche. Not a direct rival to F-22 or Su-35, it prioritizes efficiency and agility. Compared to the F-16, Gripen E offers a more modern architectural foundation. Versus Typhoon, Gripen trades some peak performance for affordability and flexibility. It's not stealth, but EW and networking can rival survivability at a fraction of the cost. Gripen's edge comes from deliberate, affordable evolution. More fuel, more thrust, more stations. Inside, a clean-sheet modular avionics core. Flight-critical systems isolated from mission software for rapid upgrades. Sensors and software built to iterate for decades. The Swedish Gripen has forced a moment of critical self-reflection. The panic centers on cost imposition, networked lethality, and geopolitical autonomy. Expect the US to double down on networking across a hybrid coalition force. The Gripen is a catalyst for doctrinal evolution. The next major fighter competition will be the TEL. If Gripen wins big, today's tremor may mark a fundamental shift in global air power.